May this light help us shine and fuel our passion. Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to request all of you to please rise for the national anthem, requesting everyone to pay homage to the national anthem by singing along. I request the audience.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंग विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्ज्वल जलधि तरंग तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Jai Hind. Thank you, everyone. We would now like to extend our warm welcome to all the esteemed guests and speakers on the dais. May I please request Shri Arvind Kumar, DG STPI, to welcome Honorable Shri Ashwini Vaishnav sir with the bouquet. Thank you for your presence, sir. Requesting Shri Sandeep Narula, Chairman ESC, to please welcome Shri Arvind Kumar, DG STPI. May I invite Shri Gurmeet Singh, Executive Director, ESC, to present a bouquet to Ms. Padmaja Ruparel, Partner, IAN Fund. May I now please call upon Shri Veer Sagar, Vice Chairman, ESC, to welcome Shri Vicky Bhal, Partner, Grant Thornton. Thank you so much, everyone. I would now like to request and invite Mr. Sandeep Narula, Chairman, ESC, for his welcome address. Let's welcome him with a huge round of applause.
Shri Ashwini Vaishnav, Honorable Minister of Electronics and IT, Communication and Railways, Government of India. Shri Arvind Kumar, Director General STPI. Ms. Padmaja, Founding Partner, Indian Angel Network. Shri Vicky Bahel, Partner, Grant Thornton. Shri Veer Sagar, Vice Chairman, ESC. Shri Gurmeet Singh, Executive Director, ESC. Friends from media, delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and very warm welcome to all of you to this conclave that marks the penultimate round of our startup initiative called Building the Next Unicorn. We are indeed delighted to have Shri Ashwini Vaishnav ji, Honorable Minister, with us today. Sir, thank you very much for sparing your valuable time to be with us. Your presence today is reflective of government's resolve to strengthen the ecosystem for startup in the country. And I'm very sure that the leaders of the startup present here would draw a lot of encouragement with your presence here, sir. Let me quickly give you a brief overview of our initiative, which is called Building the Next Unicorn. So this started like an ideation. During our visit to US earlier this year, we were told that investors, industries want to connect with the startup from the technology space in India, and they're not able to find the right candidates, right suits for them. This was a problem statement given to us. And we thought, why not get into this? And we decided that we should take up the task of identifying promising startup from the tech space in India and connect them to the investors and make them reach to the global market. On our return, we had series of discussion with our partners. And during one of the discussion we had with Shri Arvind Kumar, DG STPI, he understood the potential of the program and not only agreed to support, but make it a joint program, which is now ESC's STPI joint initiative called Building the Next Unicorn. Subsequently, we were fortunate to have the support from Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Ministry of Electronics and IT. So this way we started on a journey that led to the launch of 3-tier program comprising state conclaves, national conclave, which we are in today, and the international conclave. Here, sir, I would like to apprise you that we did not go in for easy route, wherein we look for the metros, startup in the metros. We tried to cover length and breadth of the country and identified about 700 startups across the states. After a due diligence process, 300 of the startups were shortlisted for state conclaves, which took place in 13 states. Finally, about 125 startups could be able to make it to the national conclave, which are here today. And while we are here, 2 of the pitching sessions are going on in the boardrooms, which are for the identification of about 40 startups which would join the mission to USA for global market exposure and networking with US investors, industries. TIE Silicon Valley and our mission in USA Consulate General of San Francisco have kindly agreed to help us with the engagement in USA. And when we go there, we will have a joint exercise where we will connect with the investors and the industry. I would also like to acknowledge the support from Grant Thornton. In the whole process, they helped us navigate this choppy journey with their expertise in selection of startup and designing the pitching sessions. Sir, it is pioneering effort to create a new ecosystem in the country for the massification of the startups and their successful operations to excellence so that India can set a new crop of entrepreneurs. These leaders who chase the vision to become world leaders, not alone joining the billion-dollar club and becoming unicorn, but also become the true technology leaders rather than followers. Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi's call for Atmanirbhar Bharat has deep underlying connotation. Implicit in his call to merge local with global is that India should envision leadership in technology, R&D, services, and other disciplines to emerge as a unique model of growth. Lying at the root of the model of growth is the proliferation of startups that think out of the box and a set of entrepreneurs who never give up and rather see the opportunities in every difficulty. Sir, while we give exposure to the selected startups, after a careful filtering process by exposing them to the world-renowned startup companies, they are leaders in the US and elsewhere. We would like to ignite the fire in their belly to help them keep going and achieve their dreams. On a continuous basis, those who cannot make it, I have advice for them, should consider this as a learning curve. I would like to quote Rabindranath Tagore, we have endless time in our hands. That also implies that we have endless time in hand to do it, to make it big next time. Let me conclude with a quote from Father of the Nation, Mahatma Gandhi. Every worthwhile accomplishment, big or little, has its strategy of drudgery and triumph, a beginning, a struggle, and a victory. This he said in relation to our freedom struggle. Let's put that in context for our trace with technology and startup. You have already made the beginning and awaiting victory, which will come only after struggle. With these words, I bring my address to end. Thank you so much for hearing me patiently. Namaskar. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing insights about the initiative, Building the Next Unicorn, a great initiative indeed. I now extend my warm welcome to Ms. Padmaja, founding partner, IAN Fund. Hello, ma'am, a heartily welcome to you, requesting you to please address the gathering.
Good morning, Minister Vaishnav, my fellow panelists, and most importantly, everybody in the audience, especially the entrepreneurs, for whom I think this is an opportunity to actually understand both government and private sector. So congratulations to Export Software Council for putting this together. And it looks like you have a healthy problem of a full house. So good going. I just want to come in with a focus on startups. You know, over the last few years, the startup India and the startups in India both have been growing dramatically. Today, if you just look at what are number of registered startups on DPIIT, which is the organization or the arm of Ministry of Commerce, which is focused on startups, there are almost 80,000 startups. And this growth has been phenomenal. It's been literally a hockey stick growth. And I'm sure we haven't captured all the other startups right across the nation. So this era is really the era of the Indian startups. And all of you out there are really the contributors. Now, I've been in this ecosystem for over 2 decades. And what I've been seeing over the last 5 to 7 years is something completely phenomenal. Extremely phenomenal, I must say. I remember days when I used to knock on many policymakers' doors and I would not be able to get in, purely because I wanted to talk about startups. And that word startups did not exist in the policymakers' language. Today, after so many years, startups have become the center stage of not only India's policymakers, not only of India's policies, but I think we've been able to infect the world. You see, right around the world, every government has been looking at startups because that's critical. Because every time you start up, every entrepreneur who gets a business going is actually generating new jobs. 2 people start a business, they develop a product, they start selling to a customer, they'll hire 3 more people. As it scales, they'll hire 10 more people, and so on and so forth. So the startup industry, the entrepreneurs are critical to this country and every country for that matter, because every startup hires new people. The Kaufman Foundation in the US did a study between late 1900s and over 10. Over 50 years, what they calculated, that companies with under 50 people were generating the new jobs. Large companies were actually reducing jobs, except for a 7-year period. It's that critical to go entrepreneurial, and it's that critical for us as a country to focus on entrepreneurship. Because if we don't create new jobs, we will create a new ministry called the Ministry of Terrorism, which all of us can do without. Because people, if they're not employed, will be focused on things that they shouldn't be focused on. So what you guys are doing as entrepreneurs, I actually want to thank you, because what you're trying to do is actually avoid negative influences that we could suffer from. So on that count, congratulations and thank you. Now, when I speak to startups, they say, ma'am, very nice, you're telling us to go startups, give up our jobs, use all our savings, our PF, our gratuity, borrow from our friends, family, and people who we can fool, but what next? There's nobody giving us money. Because it's true, the only 2 things that make a startup or any business for that, and I'm not restricting myself to startup, any business, there are only 2 things that make that business happen. Number 1 is talent, and number 2 is funds, right? The talent is brought by you guys, the entrepreneurs. I'm not an entrepreneur, that's why I keep saying you guys, okay? So talent is brought by you guys. You are the ones who are thinking about it day and night. You are the guys who are working towards it. You are hitting the business crisis and solving them. You are the ones who are selling and generating revenue. And you are the ones who are hiring people. So you are the talent. All that we need to now do is enable funding, right? So I think today in India, I'm really proud to stand here to say that we are much more enabling funding ecosystem that we could ever think of. I don't know how many of us come from a generation older, but we've seen how difficult funding was. Banks don't lend. If there are any bankers, my due respects to you, but the fact is that you don't invest in new companies. And that I understand that as well, because you are providing debt, and debt looks at the history of the company, whereas startups look at the future of the company, right? And just by definition of being a startup or a just started business, you don't have a history, so you don't get money from a bank. And I think you as entrepreneurs need to understand this. But what has opened up, let's focus on what has opened up huge pots of money. Number one, angel investing came into this country. And I can proudly say, and be humbled also, that we brought in angel investing 16 years ago into this country, and today it has made itself as an asset class in HNI portfolios. So all you entrepreneurs there is allocation for money from HNIs to help you grow your businesses. Number two is the government itself, right? The government's fund for startups, which was conceived and is run extremely well currently by STPI, it has committed almost out of its 10,000 crores, it's already committed close to 8,000 crores. But that's not the number that you need to look at. Because what the STPI government funding is saying is basically that 4 times that money, 5 times that money, the funds have to go and raise from elsewhere. So imagine, 10,000 crores is going to catalyze 5 times that money, right? And the amount of money that has gone in from the STPI and its funds, it's already raised 10 times that money, right? So this money is purely for startups. It's very clear, so there is money. The number of VC funds that we had 6 years ago was somewhere close to 140 or so, 148, if I'm not mistaken. Today, it's well over 1,000 VC funds. So is there money in the system? There is. There is FDI that's looking at it. So I won't go into the details, but there is money in the system. So if you have an idea, you have a product, and you are willing to take the risk of building a business, there is money both from private and public sector. And more importantly, I think the policy making is moving towards an enabling ecosystem. I mean, I can give you tons of examples, but I'll just give you one. Many of you may have heard of angel tax, which was very debilitating, right? So your capital that you received in your company was being charged as income tax. 3 years ago, the DPIIT, maybe a little longer, 5 years or 6 years ago, DPIIT, under the Ministry of Commerce, took a stand that we will solve this, and solve it they did. So, you know, I think we need to also understand as a part of the ecosystem that enablement is continuously happening. And finally, before I move away, there are a lot of people who say they want to go entrepreneurial. That really reflects that going going the way of building a startup has become the first career option for many people, right? When I was growing up, it was the last option. I still remember my father saying, "Tum aur kuch nahi kar sakogi, theek hai, apna business kar lo." But today, it's the other way around, right? It's the first option. And I think if you are going startup, there are hundreds of ideas and hundreds of opportunities that you need to think of. Not only do we need to solve real problems that face our citizens across the country, right? Whether it's in sanitation, whether it's in water, agri, fintech, edutech, pick anything, food, pick anything, and there is something that needs to be solved. So if you think of an innovative idea, think of how you solve a real problem, you will have a real business. Please understand, real problems, real solutions, real business is absolutely what will make businesses. Let's not look at 6-inch device, one more app on that 6-inch device. We don't need it. We need real solutions to real problems and sustainable solutions. And even there, you have enabling platforms. We have India Stack, we have UPI, right? We've gone digital. We are the country which has gone digital, I think, fastest, and we are moving even faster than any other country that I can think of. And more is on the way with UNDC, with e-health, etc. So overall, if you look at what's happening in the ecosystem, what is happening in the country, we are actually a country where innovation can not only breed, solve real problems for our country, but we are a great country where we can pilot our solutions and then take it global. We don't need global solutions to solve our problems, but we can solve our problems with our solutions and take it global. So on that note, I really hope that I will see at the end of this session, at the end of this day, many more entrepreneurs thinking about real problems with real solutions. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, Padmaja ma'am, for motivating us, the entrepreneurs. I say us because I too am an entrepreneur. Thank you so much for your kind words. Now I would like to take the pleasure to invite Mr. Vicky Bhal, partner GT, to share his insights with us. Welcome, sir.
Mr. Gurmeet Singh, ED-ESC, Srimati Padmaja Ruparel, founding partner IAN Fund, Mr. Arvind Kumar, DG STPI, and Honorable Minister Ashwini Vaishnav, and Mr. Sandeep Narula, Mr. Veer Sagar, and ladies and gentlemen, good morning. The mood in this room and the mood outside in the other rooms is quite charged up. Very few events start on time and are so charged up early morning because we are talking about startups. It's a very passionate topic. I personally work as a management consulting partner with Grant Thornton, work with all kinds of entrepreneurs, all the way from companies which are 100 crores up to 10,000 crores of revenues. And I see the same amount of agility, the same amount of passion, the same amount of fire in the belly of all these people. And that's how India is, frankly. And I'll just elevate the thinking to India at this stage, and then I'll just quickly go deep down into 5 points. Point number one is that, as you can see, you talk about Europe, you talk about US, the economies are going somewhere towards recession, but the mood in this room is absolutely fantastic, right? Because we are resilient. India is resilient. India has shown resilience through the sustainable factors, which I'm going to touch upon. Beyond resilience is the talent that we are developing in this country, and the fire themselves, the competitive environment that this country promotes. It's in our DNA to bring up talented individuals through competition. The third is consumption. India is having such large population. It's the consumption center of the world. You see the FTAs that are getting signed. Every country wants to sign an FTA. Australia wants to sign an FTA. UK wants to sign an FTA because they see the young population in India consuming as compared to the aged population in countries like Japan, etc. So export markets for other countries is also India. And finally, and the most important thread is aspirations. Our country has aspirational individual. That fuels entrepreneurship. Just imagine a country which is focused on a 9-to-5 job, a simple salary growing at a CAGR of 7 to 10%, inflationary hikes. People have their own comfort zones. No one is aspirational. Here you see people, I've traveled in the Bombay local long time back, and I saw a person watching CNBC, reading an Economic Times, standing in the Bombay local, going to his office from Navi Mumbai to South Bombay. And when you have conversations with these people, you know that this 12 hours of running around every day actually motivates them. So that's what fuels aspirations. So the vibe of the country, the talented workforce is attracting a lot of capital, as Mrs. Ruparel also was stating that there's a lot of money in the system in India, and there's a lot of money in the system globally which is getting invested in India. Secondly, the highest return, as per me, although there are not statistics that are published and benchmarked, on labor and capital put together, like what is the productivity per hour of a person and what's the productivity of the capital that you're giving that person, I think it's one of the highest in India. It's globally benchmarked, and we are the fastest growing large economy. Those are the two reasons, labor and capital productivity. So bringing in the government, and the more I participate in these kind of sessions, and I see more and more ministers talking, and I'm really looking forward to honorable ministers' talk today, I see that fire in the belly of the government also. So the entrepreneurs at the bottom, who are just starting up, these are 21, 22 years old, are very confident of what the government is going to do. The regulations that are going to come in, they're all going to be supportive. So everyone from top to bottom is a 12 to 14 hour kind of a complete race that's going on, and that's a great place to be for a budding ecosystem. Another important point is the sectors and the value chains we are entering. So India was historically only, an outsourcing, the BPO, the KPO, low-cost talent kind of a country. But again, the government machinery has brought up, from an electronic standpoint, semiconductor and display policies, for example. So now there are so many global companies who are looking at India to set up display fabs and semiconductor fabs. A semiconductor fab at a minimum economic size costs about $10 billion to set up. That's almost 80,000 crores worth of investment. And there's a queue of companies who want to put in 80,000 crores. That's huge. That's almost close to the GDP of a small country in some part of the world. So that's the kind of investment that the government is bringing in, and entrepreneurs are all gung-ho about it. The fourth point is innovation and value creation mindset. India gives, as I talked about consumption, a big population to amortize your ideas on, and this is a big motivation for startups. Just imagine that you are testing your idea. If you're putting your product on Amazon India, you're testing your idea with millions and millions of people. The population of Delhi is more than the population of Australia. So if you're putting something on Amazon Australia, the time to test the product, correct the product, and launch the right product is far higher as compared to putting a product on Amazon India. Mahindra creates cars like XUV 700, Scorpio, 100,000 cars get sold in 10 minutes. It's unimaginable. It's unimaginable in any other country. So they test their ideas, they work very fast in correcting their products and launching the right product, the best products in the world. And frankly, the global OEMs in automotive, and I work very closely with auto players, are stunned at the development cost of cars in India. It's agile, it's frugal, and it's aggressive innovation, if I can coin the term. It's not just innovation, it's very aggressive innovation. People are very gung-ho about putting their capital. They're very confident on the returns on capital that they're going to get. And last but not the least, and I would leave you with some thoughts very quickly, and sorry, I'm moving a bit fast forward. India is not in a hurry still. Although we are aggressive, we are moving up very fast, there's a lot of talent, but we are still sustainable. We still have an organic growth charted out. So the move from 3 trillion to 5 trillion and to 10 trillion in India, frankly, is happening in a very sustainable manner. We are creating the infrastructure. We are creating roads, highways, we are creating ports. We are not in a hurry to do everything and create bubbles. There are hardly any bubbles. There is a real estate bubble in China. There is a big crypto bubble in the US. There are so many bubbles if you keep putting these keywords, but there are no bubbles in India. It's a sustainable growth, is a non-bubble growth, and even the startups are actually moving towards EBITDA positive, cash flow positive very, very quickly as compared to other countries due to the factors that I just mentioned. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I wish all the startups all the very best today, and thank you so much for listening to me.
Thank you, Mr. Wiki, for sharing your intriguing thoughts and some alarming facts and figures. It is my pleasure to now invite Mr. Arvind Kumar, Director General, STPI, to share his thoughts with us. Let's welcome Sir with a huge round of applause.
Thank you. Honorable Union Minister for Railways, Communication, Electronics and IT, Shri Ashwini Vaishnaw ji, Chairman ESC, Shri Sandeep Narula ji, Founding Partner IAN Fund, Ms. Padmija, Partner GT, Vicky Bahel, Gurmeet ji, all industry captains, innovators, ladies and gentlemen, persons from media, and ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to welcome Honorable Minister on behalf of Software Technology Parks of India. He was kind enough to give time for this inaugural session. Just I have requested, he says if it is for a startup, I must go, and he is there. As you know, Government of India is making all efforts, lot of efforts, to make this decade successful by strengthening innovations, entrepreneurship, and to create a startup ecosystem in this country. And there are three aspects for this. One is liberate entrepreneurship from web of government, typical rat tapeism. Number two, remove the silos among the ministries. Three, create institutional mechanism for growth of startup ecosystem in this country. Fourth is hand-holding these startups in this country. Software Technology Parks of India, along with Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, is working towards these goals of Government of India. For this very event, we got very good partner, ESC. Very good partner because we have mechanism, we have strength to develop horizontally startup. They have applied to fly them to USA. So this partnership, this collaboration is going to take around 40 startups from this place to USA to get exposure before fund managers, venture capitalists, or even the people who can give the problem statement to all of you. As I say, liberate entrepreneurship from the government typical machinery and remove the silos. I give some examples for this. I started my journey from telecom. It used to take 3 years to allot the spectrums to the telecom service providers. First time for 4G, TRI is given recommendation in 2007, and auction took place in 2010. Now, in the leadership of our dynamic, majestic, honorable minister, it took only 3 months. So 3 years has been reduced to 3 months. Once spectrum has been allocated to the telecom service provider, it used to take 2 to 3 months very easily when the spectrum is actually assigned to them. Here it took less than 24 hours. Any service provider who has deposited the money, they got the spectrum next day. So this is the first example how this very government, this our honorable minister, is able to achieve which everybody dream of. Next is about the silos. Now this 5G spectrum allocation has no use if there is no IoT in this country. And there is no use of IoT if there is no 5G services in this country. These can go together. If you can generate data from IoT, there has to be some carrier who can carry from one place to another place. So standalone 5G could be a failure, standalone development of IoT could be a failure. He did both the things together. When we are accelerating a startup ecosystem in the country, at the same time, we are allocating 5G spectrum to the telecom service providers so that we can get real fruits of technology in this country. Creating institutional mechanism. We have 64 centers across the country. Out of that, 54 centers are working in tier 2, tier 3 cities. We have largest horizontal presence, wherein any startup, any new company, any new IT company can board there, can get plug and play space there. It doesn't matter whether you are in Mehrampur or you are at Samastipur or you are at Delhi or you are at Bangalore, you will get the space to work along with your laptop. We are providing plug and play space at 64 locations in this country, and 54 out of them are in tier 2, tier 3 cities, because we are sure that next growth is coming from the tier 2 and tier 3 cities. So we are creating institutional mechanism, not only in terms of providing space to the startup, but we are also having 20 Center for Entrepreneurship in this country, which provide technological support. So horizontally, we want to see growth in a startup, whether it is in terms of the spatial growth, we are providing 54 locations, and same time, for technology, we have developed 20 Center for Entrepreneurship, and those Center for Entrepreneurship have state-of-art labs for various domains. Like if somebody wants to do their development, their startup in automobiles, we have wonderful Center for Entrepreneurship, which is equipped with all lab equipments at Pune. If you want to work something on AR, VR, we have fully equipped lab at Hyderabad. If we want to work on media electronics, we have fully equipped lab at Lucknow. So we are not only taking care of their spatial requirement, we are also taking care of their technology, their lab requirement. In this way, we are creating an institutional mechanism in this country. Third is hand-holding. This is one example of the hand-holding. Though we are providing mentorship to all of them, we are doing boot camping. We have all good authorities on the subject, though really know the subject, as a part of our mentorship. We have chief mentors, and our Center for Entrepreneurship is not typical research and development center. They want to create entrepreneurs from that very center. We have partners who is doing boot camping to them. We have mentors who are telling what to do, what not to do, so that we are not in basic research, we are not in applied research, we are in translational research. You have to translate from your basic, what you thought, your idea, and then convert into product and make it commercialized as early as possible. And I think this is the most opportune time for the startup to grow this country, because we will not have such a leadership never in this country. We have wonderful leadership, we should take advantage of it. And number two, world is looking for some partner, some country who can give trusted technology, who could be the trusted partner. So this is the best time for the startup to having such a good leadership, and world is looking towards country to get the trusted partner for the technology. And as you know, technology is the biggest leverer. Now this UPI has already shown that technology is for elite class, it is for everybody. And in fact, for me, macroeconomic data does not much impress to me. What impressed to me is when Honorable Prime Minister inaugurating or launching the National Logistic Policy, then he says that I want to use the technology in logistics in such a manner that no driver sleeps at the street or road. You should ensure that all drivers are sleeping in the night at their home. This is the problem statement to all of us. Such a statement impress, such problem statements when come from the top of this country, then it gives a lot of energy, lot of enthusiasm to all of us. And Honorable Minister has already working toward that. He has already given 10 problem statement from Ministry of Railways with all protection to market access, revenue assurance, everything. So such problem statement and funding, two are the main requirement, and third is the market access, which in any case we are going to do through this conference, through this seminar. All such initiatives, I am sure, will lead to self-reliant country. Thank you very much.
Yes, please, ma'am.
Can you hear? Okay. So I'm sorry I'm interrupting your program, but I did want to share something that I'm very really amazed at what you are doing at STPI because I didn't know. And as you're creating enabling ecosystem and infrastructure for tier 2, tier 3 entrepreneurs, apart from tier 1 entrepreneurs, I'd just like to say that as you are putting in so much effort, I would like to offer Indian Angel Network to be your funding partner. And as entrepreneurs are growing, we'd love to engage with you, a partner, and really bring our 600 investors on the table, the fund, to see how we can help them grow. So I just wanted to offer that.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And thank you, Arvind, sir, for sharing about your thoughts about leveraging the government for entrepreneurship. It's an exciting moment for all the startups as we will now be releasing the report on startup ecosystem beyond tier 1 cities under the STPI Knowledge Up series. Now let's watch a teaser video about the release of the report. Requesting the video to be played. Honorable Chief Guest, Shri Ashwini Vaishnav sir, to please do the honors of releasing the report. A smiley moment. Thank you so much, everyone. I deem it a great privilege to welcome our chief guest, Shri Ashwini Vaishnav, Honorable Minister of Railways, Communication, Electronics and IT, Government of India, to address all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, let us hear it loud for Shri Ashwini Vaishnav Sir.
Thank you very much. Dignitaries on the dais and dignitaries off the dais. Wish you all a very good morning. Very charged up atmosphere. Raring to go to the exciting journey, not only in your careers, but also to different shores. So congratulations to all the startup participants who have been selected for this great event. How many of you are present here? Out of the 40, how many of you are going to US? Happy? Excited? What are the thoughts? मन में क्या आ रहा है? टेंशन है? Bit of tension. कैसे लोग होंगे? क्या पूछेंगे? तैयारी है कि नहीं? है ऐसा टेंशन? होना चाहिए. हेल्दी टेंशन इज गुड. लेकिन तैयारी प्रॉपर करके जाना है. प्रॉपरली एकदम एक एक पॉइंट पे थिंक. अपने ग्रुप में जहाँ पर भी बैठो, ये सोचना क्या क्वेश्चंस आ सकते हैं. दो टेक्निक्स हैं. एक टेक्निक है व्हाट एल्स. पूछते जाओ व्हाट एल्स, व्हाट एल्स, व्हाट एल्स, व्हाट एल्स. और क्या पूछ सकते हैं, और क्या पूछ सकते हैं. ये पूछा तो उसका जवाब क्या होगा, उस क्वेश्चन के आगे वाला क्वेश्चन क्या होगा, उस क्वेश्चन के आगे के आगे के आगे के आगे वाला क्वेश्चन क्या होगा. ऐसा सोचो. That will help you prepare very much. Second, अपने प्रोजेक्ट की रिस्क एनालिसिस सीरियस करना है. A good pitch, and I am talking from my personal entrepreneurial journey, a good pitch will have both the good things of your proposal and the risks in your proposal. रिस्क को कैसे पिच करोगे? स्टार्ट थिंकिंग. जब डिस्कस करो अपनी टीम्स में और अपने मेंटोर के साथ, ये पूछो व्हाट कैन फेल, व्हाट एल्स कैन फेल, व्हाट एल्स कैन मेक आवर सिस्टम फेल, व्हाट एल्स कैन मेक आवर बिजनेस प्लान फेल, व्हाट एल्स कैन फेल, व्हाट एल्स कैन फेल, व्हाट एल्स कैन फेल. जो दीज आर वेरी सिंपल टेक्निक्स, लेकिन ये टेक्निक आपके पिच को बहुत स्ट्रांग बनाएगी, बहुत स्ट्रांग बनाएगी. और सिंस यू आर गोइंग टू बी द फ्लैग बेयरर्स ऑफ द कंट्री, यू आर गोइंग आउट टू अ डिफरेंट जर्नी वेयर you will be representing the new cohort of startups. So it is your duty to make sure that what you do in this journey becomes the pulling factor for many more such cohorts. That should be the aim with which we go in this journey. Ready for this? Ready? थोड़ा और दम के साथ होना चाहिए. Ready? एकदम ready? क्या बात है. Good. मैं आपके सामने 2 या 3 पॉइंट रखूंगा, केवल 3. Basically there are 3 major trends I would like to discuss. पहला ट्रेंड है स्टार्टअप्स में बहुत एक सिग्निफिकेंट चेंज आ रहा है, वेयर द many of the startups in the initial phase were looking primarily at e-commerce, setting up a platform, that kind of thing. A lot more startups are now looking at developing technologies. Last 8 years journey has seen a real maturing of the startup ecosystem. एक छोटा सा कंज्यूमर बेस्ड जो थिंकिंग होती थी, उस थिंकिंग से बाहर जाके आज स्टार्टअप्स में टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलपमेंट का एक क्लियर ट्रेंड दिख रहा है. इन अ सेंस, फ्रॉम बिकमिंग टेक्नोलॉजी कंज्यूमर्स, technology developed by sector after sector, technology developed by somebody sitting elsewhere, Now we are becoming technology generators, technology producers. कई एग्जाम्पल्स हैं. टेलीकॉम टेक्नोलॉजी ले लीजिए. किसी ने सोचा भी नहीं था कि 4G 5G का एंटायर इंडिया का कंप्लीट टेक्नोलॉजी स्टैक बन के रेडी हो सकता है. लोग सोचते थे कि टेलीकॉम की टेक्नोलॉजी है तो हमको जाना ही पड़ेगा बाहर. कई तरह के ऐसे एग्जाम्पल्स होते थे कि नहीं, ट्राई किया था, रैक्स बना था, E10 भी आया, सब कुछ फिनिश कर दिया. रेडियो बनाने की कोशिश की थी, 20 वाट से ऊपर जा ही नहीं पाए. 20 वाट से ऊपर गए बिना क्या काम होगा. कई तरह की इस तरह की बातें होती थी. मैंने डाउट एक नेचर में आ गया था कि इंडिया में कुछ इस तरह की चीज़ हो सकती है या नहीं हो सकती, इस पे क्वेश्चन मार्क लगता था. लेकिन जिस क्लियर रिजॉल्व के साथ, जिस क्लियर डिटर्मिनेशन के साथ पीएम साहब ने एकदम क्लियर डायरेक्शन दिया कि नहीं, टेक्नोलॉजी तो अपनी बननी ही बननी है, चाहे जो कुछ हो जाए, टेक्नोलॉजी तो अपनी बननी ही बननी है. जो वो क्लियर डायरेक्शन जब रहती है किसी देश के नेतृत्व में, बड़े बड़े काम हो जाते हैं. बड़ी से बड़े चैलेंजेस को हम लोग फेस करने की पोजीशन में आ जाते हैं. और आज आप विश्वास मानो, जो हमारा देश का टेक्नोलॉजी, टेलीकॉम टेक्नोलॉजी स्टैक बना है, दुनिया में कई देशों से इंक्वायरीज आने लग गई है कि कब आपका टेक्नोलॉजी स्टैक 10-15 हज़ार टावर पे लगेगा और कब हम उसको अपने कंट्री में ट्राई करना चाहेंगे. इतनी बड़ी चीज़ है ये. कोई एग्जांपल ले लो, डिफेंस में कभी कोई सोचता ही नहीं था कि इंडिया में टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलप होगी. हमेशा सोचते थे कि एक आज से अगर 10 साल पहले की डिफेंस इंडस्ट्री में आप जाओगे तो उसमें थॉट प्रोसेस ये था कि ऑफसेट कैसे लूम है, उसके बाहर सोच नहीं होती थी, उसके बाहर कोई सोचता ही नहीं था. और ये होता था कि उस ऑफिसर के पास जाऊंगा, उस एमपी के पास जाऊंगा, उस नेता के पास जाऊंगा, ये ऑफसेट लेके आ जाऊंगा मैं. उसके ज़्यादा कोई सोचता ही नहीं था 8 साल पहले. डायरेक्शन पूरी चेंज हुई. आज डिफेंस में कम से कम 7 या 8 हज़ार ऐसे स्टार्टअप्स जुड़े हुए हैं जो कि कॉम्प्लेक्स टेक्नोलॉजीज़ को मास्टर करके जो सॉल्यूशन दुनिया में 100 पे होता था वो आज 10 रुपए पे लेके आ रहे हैं. रेलवे, वर्ल्ड क्लास ट्रेन बने, यू हैव टू गो टू जापान, यू हैव टू गो टू जर्मनी, यू हैव टू गो टू फ्रांस, कहीं कहीं जाना पड़ेगा. किसी ने इमेजिन भी नहीं किया था. वंस अगेन जब पीएम साहब ने बहुत क्लियर डायरेक्शन दिया कि नहीं, वर्ल्ड क्लास ट्रेन तो अपने ही इंडियन ब्रेन्स ही डिज़ाइन करेंगे और इंडियन हैंड्स ही मैन्युफैक्चर करेंगे, बनी वंदे भारत. आज 18 देशों के न्यूज़पेपर्स में प्रोमिनेंट रिपोर्ट्स छपी है वंदे भारत के बारे में, और दुनिया भर में एक हलचल है कि ये ट्रेन कब हम अपने देश में लेके आ सकें. सेक्टर आफ्टर सेक्टर वी आर बिकमिंग टेक्नोलॉजी प्रोड्यूसर्स, टेक्नोलॉजी जनरेटर्स. वी आर शिफ्टिंग फ्रॉम mere technology consumers to technology producers. That's a major trend. That's a major trend that we are observing over the last 8 years. The second trend we are seeing is in manufacturing. Manufacturing के बारे में जिस तरह से 1950 से एक एक करके पहले हाथ बांधे गए, फिर पांव बांध दिए गए, फिर पूरे शरीर को एक ऐसे मकड़ जाल में, ऐसे कानूनों के एक ऐसे गंदे से, मैंने क्या कहना चाहिए, मतलब जैसे चेन से बांध दिया था इंडिया की मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर को। एक एक करके पीएम साहब ने एक एक करके बेड़ियां तोड़ी, एक एक करके बेड़ियां तोड़ी। 1500 से ज़्यादा ऐसे कानून हैं जो पिछले 8 वर्षों में देश के कानून की किताब से फेंक दिए गए बाहर। 1500 से ज़्यादा, 60,000 से ज़्यादा जो कंप्लायंसेस होती थी वो आज कम से कम उसमें से 20,000 कंप्लायंसेस निकल चुकी है, और सिंप्लीफिकेशन तेजी से चल रहा है। इसका रिजल्ट आप देखिए, आज मैन्युफैक्चरिंग एक मेजर सनराइज इंडस्ट्री की तरह उभर के आ रहा है। कोई सेक्टर उठा लो, कोई भी सेक्टर उठा लो, ऑटोमोबाइल ले लो, डिफेंस ले लो, टेलीकॉम ले लो, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स ले लो, पावर ले लो, केमिकल्स ले लो, फार्मास्यूटिकल्स ले लो, फर्टिलाइजर ले लो, कोई सेक्टर उठा लो, हर एक सेक्टर में मैन्युफैक्चरिंग आज एक नए स्केल पे जा रही है। मैं अगर 3 सेक्टर डिजिटल के लेता हूं, अगर आपके सामने एग्जांपल के तौर पे, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में डायरेक्ट जॉब्स, आज डायरेक्ट जॉब्स, डायरेक्ट एम्प्लॉयमेंट 25 से 30 लाख के बीच में, 25 से 30 लाख के बीच में, जो 8 साल 9 साल पहले नेग्लिजिबल था, कोई सोचता ही नहीं था हिंदुस्तान में मोबाइल फ़ोन बनेंगे। आज हम सेकंड लार्जेस्ट मोबाइल फ़ोन मैन्युफैक्चरर बन चुके हैं। आईटी बीपीओ, आईटी सर्विसेज में ऑलरेडी वी हैव क्रॉस्ड 5.5 मिलियन, यानी 55 लाख जॉब्स, डायरेक्ट जॉब्स क्रॉस कर चुके हैं। एंड दीज आर वेरी गुड हाई क्वालिटी जॉब्स, जो कि हर एक जॉब कम से कम 3 इनडायरेक्ट जॉब्स को सपोर्ट कर रहा है, और ये ट्रेंड बढ़ती जा रही है। एट्रिशन रेट जो 27-25% के आसपास का एट्रिशन रेट है, दैट शोज कितनी सॉलिड ग्रोथ है, कितनी सॉलिड रोबस्ट डिमांड है। स्टार्टअप्स, आपकी दुनिया 8 लाख डायरेक्ट जॉब्स के आसपास पहुंच गए आप लोग, 8 लाख डायरेक्ट जॉब्स। यानी डिजिटल इकोनॉमी के 3 बड़े पिलर्स को अगर हम देखें, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, आईटी एंड आईटीएस सर्विसेज, स्टार्टअप्स, इन तीनों में अब तक ऑलरेडी 88 लाख जॉब्स के आसपास क्रिएट हो चुके हैं, 88 to 90 लाख जॉब्स के आसपास क्रिएट हो चुके हैं। और गवर्नमेंट का टारगेट है कि अगले 2 साल में एक easily this should be crossing 1 million, I'm sorry, 1 crore, मिलियन और करोड़ के बीच में शिफ्ट होने में हमेशा we should be crossing 1 crore jobs in the coming 2 years without any doubt. The way electronics manufacturing is growing, the way IT services are growing, the way startup ecosystem is growing. So electronics manufacturing and its associated employment, digital economy and its associated employment, startup economy and its associated employment, ये एक बहुत बड़ी मेजर ट्रेंड है। तीसरी बड़ी ट्रेंड है डाइवर्सिटी की। एक टाइम था स्टार्टअप मने 1-2 शहर के नाम आते थे सामने। आज आपने अभी रिपोर्ट में देखा Tier 2 सिटीज़, Tier 3 सिटीज़, मैं कई जगह स्कूलों में जाता हूँ, गांव की स्कूलों में बच्चे चाहते हैं कि हम कोई स्टार्टअप करें। जो पहले कभी ऐसा होता था कि गांवों में या छोटे शहरों में ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा बच्चा सोच पाता था कि चलो मुझे कोई नौकरी मिल जाए तो मैं बहुत खुश हूँ। वो ट्रेंड आज बदल चुका है, वो ट्रेंड आज टोटल चेंज हो चुका है। आज एस्पिरेशन है, उस सपनों को, उन सपनों के पीछे पंख लगा के जाने वाली संस्थाएं बनी है। आप देखो किस तरह की संस्थाओं से इस तरह के डाइवर्सिटी के सपनों को पंख मिल रहे हैं। STPI आपके सामने एक गुड एग्जाम्पल है। छोटे छोटे शहरों में प्लग इन प्ले सिस्टम बनाना, छोटे छोटे शहरों में ऐसा सिस्टम बनाना जिसमें आइडिया है मेरे पास, मैं जाता हूँ और उस आइडिया को टेस्ट करने की मुझे एक अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलती है। एंड आई थैंक इंडिया एंजल नेटवर्क फॉर बिकमिंग द पार्टनर ऑफ द STPI नेटवर्क। थैंक यू सो मच फॉर दिस। आपके आइडिया, STPI का इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, IAN का फंड, आंसर आपके सामने है। जीत आपकी है, हम आपके पीछे मजबूती से खड़े हैं। PM साहब का बहुत बड़ा क्लियर विजन है, छोटे से छोटे गांव से भी आज यूनिकॉर्न निकल सकता है, छोटे से छोटे शहर से भी आज डेकाकॉन बन सकता है। वो अपॉर्चुनिटी सबको आज मिल रही है, कई तरीके से सपोर्ट किया जा रहा है। कॉलेजेस में 5G लैब्स सेटअप हो रही है, सेमीकंडक्टर की एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन के लिए, स्टडी के लिए, टेस्टिंग के लिए अब तक करीब मेरे ख्याल से 65 कॉलेजेस को ऑलरेडी एनरोल किया जा चुका है, नेटवर्क में डाला जा चुका है। देश भर में एक ऐसा इकोसिस्टम तैयार हो रहा है जो डाइवर्सिटी को प्रमोट करता है, जो अपॉर्चुनिटीज क्रिएट करता है छोटी से छोटी जगह में भी। जब इकोनॉमी बंधी हुई थी, बहुत कम लोगों के पास अपॉर्चुनिटी होती थी। अगर नई बिजनेस क्रिएट करना तो आपके पीछे कोई सरनेम होना चाहिए। खत्म हो गए वो दिन। मोदी जी ने डेमोक्रेटाइज कर दिया है एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप को। मोदी जी ने एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप को डेमोक्रेटाइज कर दिया है। सबके लिए आज अपॉर्चुनिटीज है, ट्राई करो। फेल होना स्वाभाविक है, फेलियर से कभी नहीं डरना है। मैं तो अपनी लाइफ में इतनी बार फेल हुआ हूं, बिल्कुल नहीं डरना है। फेलियर, किसी अच्छे विद्वान ने कहा था, फेलियर सीखने की अगली कड़ी है, हर फेलियर सीखने की अगली कड़ी है। ऐसा कुछ कहा था, बहुत अच्छी सी बात कही थी, ज्ञानी लोग हैं। तो ये 3 ट्रेंड इंडिया के डिजिटल इकोनॉमी को ड्राइव कर रहे हैं। टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलपमेंट, टेक्नोलॉजी का प्रोड्यूसर बनना इंस्टेड ऑफ रिमेनिंग अ कंज्यूमर। सेकंड, टेक्नोलॉजी के मैन्युफैक्चरिंग को, इकोसिस्टम को ग्रो करना। और तीसरा, डाइवर्सिटी, जिसमें टियर 2, टियर 3, वैरायटी ऑफ सॉल्यूशंस, वैरायटी ऑफ पीपल गेटिंग इनटू दिस जर्नी। इन तीनों ट्रेंड से हिंदुस्तान आत्मनिर्भर बन रहा है, मजबूत बन के उभर रहा है, और पहली बार G20 की लीडरशिप हमको मिली है। ये हमारे उभरते हुए, हमारी उभरती हुई शक्ति का, उभरती हुई पहचान का, उभरती हुई ताकत का सिंबल है। पार्टिसिपेट कीजिए, जीतिए। मैं आप सबको बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूँ और आशा करता हूँ कि कम से कम 40 में से 40 के 40 कुछ न कुछ फंड लेके आएंगे। तैयार हैं? गुड, ऑल द बेस्ट।
Startups, how's the Josh? How's the Josh? Lovely. Thank you, Shri Ashwini sir, for energizing the entrepreneurs here. And what a beautiful question to ask ourselves. What else? Helping us move on, move forward. Muhammad Katani said, words have power. Words are power. And your words, sir, are an epitome of these words. Simply powerful. Thank you so much, sir. Now we would like to extend our gratitude through a memento to all our esteemed guests of honor. My entreaty to Shri Sandeep Narula, Chairman ESC, to present the token of appreciation to Honorable Minister Shri Ashwini Vaishnav sir. May I also request Shri Arvind Kumar, DG STPI, to please join. May I invite Shri Veer Sagar, Vice Chairman ESC, to present the memento to Ms. Padmaja, Founding Partner, IAN Fund. Requesting Shri Gurmeet Singh, Executive Director ESC, to hand over the memento to Shri Vicky Bhal, Partner GT. Now, I would like to invite Shri Gurmeet Singh, Executive Director ESC, to propose the vote of thanks.
Honorable Shri Ashwini Vaishnaji, our Minister of Electronics and IT, Communications and Railways, Government of India, Shri Arvind Kumar, Director General, Software Technology Parks of India, Shri Sandeep Narula, Chairman ESC, Ms. Padmaja Ruprel, Funding Partner, IAN Fund, Shri Vicky Behel, Partner, GT Bharat, Shri V. Sagar, Vice Chairman ESC, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. It is my profound pleasure to propose a hearty vote of thanks on behalf of ESC and STPI to our distinguished guests and delegates assembled today from across the country. Let me start by conveying our sincere thanks to our chief guest, Shri Ashwini Vaishnaji, Honorable Minister of Electronics and IT, Communications and Railways, Government of India, who has graced the occasion despite his busy schedule. Sir, your presence is a source of great encouragement to enthusiastic founders of startups present today and is reflective of government's commitment to promotion of tech-based startups in the country. Friends, you would agree that Honorable Minister's words have set the right tone for today's agenda. I hope everybody's josh is high. Special thanks to Team STPI led by Shri Arvind Kumarji, Director General, STPI. Sir, thank you very much for not only your presence today here, but joining us as principal partners in this unique initiative. I need hardly mention STPI's involvement has added a completely new dimension to this journey. I'm sure our partnership will grow in the years to come. And this double engine of ESC STPI partnership will certainly help the Indian ICT industry both within the country and globally. Special thanks to our knowledge partners, GT Bharat, who are guiding us this new unhearted journey. Mr. Vicky Behel, partner, is here with us, but I know a whole team of experts from GT has been working with us on this initiative for the last several months. Mr. Rohit Bahadur, partner GT, has been leading the effort, and my sincere thanks to all of you. Sincere thanks are due to Ms. Padmaja Ruprel, founding partner, IAN Fund, who is here with us today and has shared her thoughts. Many thanks, Padmaja ji. We look forward to a continued partnership between ESC, STPI, and IAN in the years to come. I must place on record our deep gratitude for all our partners who helped us in organizing the state conclaves in 13 plus states. We were indeed moved to see the enthusiasm with which these agencies, state innovation missions, universities, chambers of commerce, state governments, IT departments hosted our events. I would also like to thank all members of jury who are already on the job in 20th floor upstairs. The pitching sessions has already started and invited startups are pitching their ideas. I must also place on record our deep appreciation for distinguished jury members of respective state conclaves who joined us at different centers. We owe deep gratitude to each one of them. I would also like to acknowledge and thanks Amity University for all the support to the event. I would be failing in my duty if I don't thank our dynamic chairman, Mr. Sandeep Narula, who took this courageous decision to launch a new initiative, building the next unicorn in the council. Above all, my sincere thanks to all the team members at ESC and STPI for this fabulous journey so far. Big thanks to all the delegates, the startups for joining this journey and their enthusiastic participation at today's conclave. With these words, I once again thank you, all of you here, for being part of the gathering today. Thank you so much. Namaskar. Jai Hind.
With that, we conclude the inaugural session. Thank you everyone for your patience and attention, and thanking all the dignitaries on the dais. We are obliged by your presence. Thank you. Our special thanks to our honorable chief guest, Shri Ashwini Vaishnav sir. We are deeply honored to have you with us today.